Hello, I'm Donald Noble from the University of Edinburgh. This video explains how the DTOceanPlus project is helping to address the sector need for reference data. To facilitate design and assessment, there is always a need for reference data, for example, providing components and context for design tools. To assess a device, we need the context of subsystems, such as a gearbox or generator, components to design the array, such as electrical cables and connectors, and logistical operations at a project level, plus vessels and ports to undertake these. Reference data is also useful for other types of assessment, for example, creating baseline scenarios to compare with state-of-the-art technologies, or components and operational data for lifecycle carbon assessment, or other types of projects. The DTOceanPlus project has produced 3 open source datasets to be released alongside the tools. Firstly, electrical network reference components comprising cables, both static and dynamic or umbilical cables, connectors, wet and dry mate, and collection points, both passive subsea hubs and surface substations with transformers. Secondly, a set of station keeping reference components comprising mooring line properties with diameter, elasticity, weight, cost, SN curve parameters, etc. And drag anchors providing the relationship between the main dimensions of mass, height, length and width, plus the ultimate holding capacity. Thirdly, a set of logistical infrastructure and equipment, comprising some O&M activities and the speeds to carry these out, equipment such as vessels, ROVs, divers, cable installation equipment, etc., and terminals at ports for these vessels to operate from. To give a couple of examples where this type of reference data can be used, I'll cover some projects my colleagues have been working on recently. Firstly, on the Imagine project, where the Italian manufacturer Umbra Group are taking aerospace technology and developing an electromechanical generator for ocean energy, the University of Edinburgh are conducting a techno-economic assessment of this technology within the project. So as explained, we need this context of a device, array and project to assess the novel PTO subsystem. For example, electrical cables for the array, moorings and anchors for the devices. The levelized cost of electricity depends on a complete array over the lifetime of the project. So we need details of installation and O&M activities. Finally, the carbon emissions are very sensitive to vessel choice within the LCA analysis, so there is a definite need for a dataset of representative vessels used in the ocean energy projects, not just ferries and container ships. Within the UMAC my colleagues have been working with Core Power, who are also a partner in the DTOceanPlus project, on their Universal Mooring, Anchor and Connectivity Kit. We're comparing the novel UMAC anchor solution, both economically and environmentally, with baseline reference cases. This used 2 of the DTOceanPlus deployment design tools. The station keeping module to determine masses and foundation costs using some of the reference components I just mentioned, and also using the logistic and marine operations tool, considering the fuel consumption and installation costs, again based on the reference data on vessels and operations. And you can see some of the results from this project here and on the UMAC website. Additionally, the tools will include other reference data to facilitate their use. The site characterization tool will have 9 example sites with varying wave and tide resource level. These have data for the wind, waves and currents from the UMAC dataset. It also has coarse global reference data of bathymetry, seabed type and protected species. Additionally, the sites from the US Department of Energy reference model project are included, specifically the RM1 tidal and RM3 wave cases. The Environmental and Social Exception tool also has a set of endangered species data included within that. This comprises a short description of the main endangered species at the present time, the probability of presence on site, and some recommendations in case of presence on site. So the reference data is included both in DTOceanPlus and for use elsewhere. We have the reference sites from other sources in site characterization and endangered species in environmental and social acceptance. And we have catalogues of components of infrastructure and equipment. And these 3 data sets will be published separately, open source, for use in any tool. They will be freely available on the Zenodo website, licensed under Creative Commons. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, please ask them via the DTOceanPlus website or at our live Q&A session on the 31st of August. Thank you.